You're now listening to the Garage Guys Fantasy Sports Podcast.
Garage fam, what is up? We are back. Pennzoil 400, presented by Jiffy Lube, is officially over. It's Monday morning, and we're back to the Garage Guys Fantasy Sports Podcast. We're going to be talking all about the Pennzoil 400 at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. We're going to be talking about Kyle Larson and his return to being a winner in NASCAR in the 5-car. Shout out to Terry two-time. Got to give a shout out to Terry anytime I see the 5, or Casey Kane for a short, brief period of time. So shout out to them. And again, shout out to Kyle. And just going to be talking about the absolute shit fest that betting on NASCAR has been in 2021. Luck's going to turn around eventually. I'm not one to get too caught up in things that are going on. Losing sucks. There's nothing around it. No way around that. But, you know, we're the Garage fam. We're the Garage Guys. It's NASCAR. It's a long season. Plenty of things happen. We're going to go through the whole race. Also, shout out to the Garage fam because the GGFS hotline is officially back open. Get a little shout. Get a little shout. We got some voicemails we're going to be going over on this episode. And on top of that, I'm going to be talking a little bit about what I'm expecting very early for Phoenix coming up this weekend. It's my birthday week. It's me, Garage Guy. And let's go ahead and let's get rolling. So, shout out to Drip Drop. Go ahead and start off the show. Shout out to Drip Drop. Go over to dripdrop.com right now. Use promo code GarageGuys20 at checkout. It's the best hydration on the planet. There's no way around it. There's nothing you can tell me to say that Drip Drop isn't the best hydration on the planet. It's not Liquid IV. It's not Gatorade. And it's not Pedialyte. Are you 7? Get Drip Drop, okay? Dripdrop.com, promo code GarageGuys20. Used by athletes, firefighters, military members, Garage Guys, the Garage fam. Everybody is wanting to get the drip. NASCAR is going completely batshit for Drip Drop. So get over to dripdrop.com right now. Again, promo code GarageGuys20. Pennzoil 400, guys. Okay, so we started this morning out in the Discord for all the Garage fam listening. You guys were there. You knew what was up. We were up. We were pumped. We were happy. We got the bets out. I'm going to talk a little bit about our card. So if you're not on Garage Guys Premium, if you haven't signed up for our service, we got 3 packages, literally weekend pass, $14.99. You get all of our articles on the site to get you prepared for DraftKings, FanDuel, and, of course, the sports book. We also do monthly for $39.99, so basically $40 gets you the whole month of everything we do, and you get premium access to our Discord. And then, of course, we have the yearly, which is $150. Shout out to annual subscribers. You guys make it to where I don't have to eat ramen noodles in weeks like this. So thank you. Appreciate you. But, yeah, that's the annual subscription. You get everything that is in the monthly. Plus, you're going to get some more exclusive access, some things, try to go above and beyond for the fam, especially if you're up here, supporting us and what we do. We appreciate that. Helps us go to races, helps us do all kinds of awesome stuff. So thank you. But if you started this morning out in the Discord, you knew the energy was there. We were hype. I had my premium picks out. I had my free picks out. Going to kind of briefly go over that. Chef Boy had everything out with projections, with his rankings, and in Las Vegas, it's always a gamble going to Vegas, especially if you're going to gamble, because that's what other reason do you go to Las Vegas anyway? To get married? When you get married, you're just going to go to the casino anyway. So I wrote in my article earlier in the week, I said, before this race, what I'm going to do this week is I'm going to watch a shitload of gambling movies, which I did this weekend. It was great. And last night I capped it all off with one of my favorite Martin Scorsese movies, Casino. Haven't watched it in a long time. And, Robert De Niro's character in that one, Sam Rothstein, he one of the smartest handicappers ever, running a casino, street guy running a casino, literally was the king of bookies. He just rip Bookie's a new one. All right, he's the guy everybody wants to be. He reminds me of Chef Boy in the way he bets, and that's why long-term betting with the Chef, you can't go wrong. You're going to have ups and downs all the time, but as far as consistency out of the garage guys, Chef Boy has got us beat, and that's just what it is. So that's why he reminds me of him. And then, of course, like Pesci's character in there, he is just a madman. He's there to protect Sam. He's there to make sure that everything goes right and that nobody tries to fuck around and get over on the casino or get over on the mob in general. Crazy movie. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. But there was one thing that's said in that movie, and it kind of sunk in as soon as the race was over. The house always wins. And that's exactly what happened today when Kyle Larson won this race. So we started out this morning. I know my picks to win this race, I had Denny Hamlin, I had Kyle Busch, and then I had Joseph Logano. And Joseph L. did not show up, by the way. It was disappointing, sad to see. There was no Megadeth blaring at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway and no sick burnouts. You didn't have to hide your mom. Yeah, there's a Twitter account for Joseph L. now. So it's not hard to find, just Zoil Chugger 69. He's a wild guy. It's what he does. So yeah, Joseph L. didn't show up. Joey Logano was racing today. He tried, just things didn't go their way. Team Penske looked good, especially with Brad K. I actually got, after Chase Elliott had his incident, I really thought that Brad K had a shot, but Kyle Larson and that Hendrick equipment was just insane. None of us were on Hendrick. Shout out to Dale Tanhart, though. He did have the one winning bet for us, and it was the free bet. So if you're subscribed here on Garage Guys YouTube, you're listening to the podcast, go subscribe to the YouTube channel. We do Dale Center, and Dale was out of town this week, so he made a video, and it was kind of comical because literally I think a girl's picks to win the race were Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Jimmy Johnson. Probably the most just innocently non-NASCAR fan shit anybody could say in their life. So definitely go check that out if you haven't. But he had Kyle Busch finishing inside the top 10. I think he was minus 150. So if you did bet that, at least you got a little bit of change. And we did have some garage fam out there stack some cash on DraftKings today. So it was good to see that there was some profit there. But this season so far, guys, has just been a whirlwind. I knew starting out early that we would probably see some of the young guns really start to show their ass a little bit and get out there and get aggressive. And, we've seen that so far with Chris Bell winning a race, William Byron winning a race, and now Kyle Larson coming back in, winning a race with Hendrick. There's 2 Team Hendrick cars now that are going to be in the championship. So good for Team Hendrick. Chase Elliott would have had that shit won, by the way. And I noticed that right off the bat, so I did hit a live bet on him. But overall, just rough day. The good days are coming, though. I'm feeling it. It is Vegas, and I'm just going to stick to that. The house always wins. So, it's going to take a lot more effort going into the next Vegas race because I have beat the house before on DraftKings. I got the bag, and I'm bound and determined to get my bag again. But we may get that bag at some other tracks this season. As soon as the short tracks come up, I'm also pretty good at the short tracks as far as figuring out what's going to go down and how we're going to get those bags on DraftKings and FanDuel. So for all you guys that are tailing and sticking around, guys, shit, Garage Fam, I love you guys, which is why we opened up the hotline. And I'm going to play some of those voicemails. We're going to talk a little bit about that, but let's dig into some statistical shit to talk about with this race. Obviously, Kyle Larson winning the race, Brad Keselowski coming in second. We had Kyle Busch in third, who had a bounce back after kind of just running shitty for most of the day. He kind of really came through there at the end. I always feel like Kyle is just one of those guys that's like half-ass on the gas, and he's just like, I'm just going to pretend, and then I'm going to just come out. But it's like, if you would just come out, you probably could win because I wanted you to win. You should have won. Why didn't you win, Kyle? You're home. Do something, please. We're not repeating last year. I'll say that much. At least we know that so far Kyle's luck has kind of shaken and he's kind of a little bit back to normal. I think a win is definitely coming. It better come because I said 6 wins this season. And then we had Denny Hamilton in fourth, which is another one of my bets. So good to see two of my guys right there that I had picked inside of the top five. And then Ryan Blaney decided to show up today, which I'm pretty sure everyone knew that Blaney was going to be a hot pick. And if you didn't want to believe the stigma or the trends of what's been happening so far, which we're only 4 weeks in, so I mean, really, what can you say other than things are not like they were last year? So good to see Blaney get back up there. He did kind of what we expected him to do. And Truex sixth, Chris Bell in seventh, the guy I didn't like, now I do like this year. Started off the year hot, betting him for Daytona. And to see Chris run inside the top 10 was amazing, because when this race started and I saw immediately him jump to that top 10, I knew, I was like, my heart just kind of was like, okay, we're good. We don't have to worry about anything. My text messages are going crazy right now. Don't know. Excuse that. But Chris Bell definitely is going to be one to watch. He's already won a race. He's in the playoffs. We're going to see aggressiveness out of him. And these are these intermediate tracks where you're going to see drivers like him and Kyle Larson do well. I'm pretty sold on Kyle Larson at these intermediates now. He ran well at Homestead. He did great here. He won him a race. He's back on track and he's back on the map. I mean, it's good to see a guy that, overcome the things that, that happened, learned a lot from it, and he moved forward. And now he's like, hey, okay, I'm going to do something with this opportunity I have. And I'm sure that we'll see some sponsorships coming in for him now. And as things kind of, start to move forward, now that he's progressed and all that stuff that happened last year is behind him, I think he'll definitely be able to slap some sponsors. Maybe Kellogg's. Maybe we can get a Kellogg's number 5 car again. Shout out to Terry again. You guys know I love Terry. William Byron in 8th. Joey Logano in 9th. So, I mean, he did have that top 10 there at least. And then a big surprise, Eric Jones, Richard Petty Motorsports, coming in 10th. We talked about that in the Discord a little bit, and I'm not 100% sold that he'll be able to do that every week, but it's cool to see Eric be able to kind of make a little statement like that, because this is one of those tracks where, if you're not with the pack, you'll get left really quick, and we saw that with a lot of guys this week. But going outside a little bit of that top 10, obviously Chase Elliott finishing 13th. And then Ricky Stenhouse Jr. coming in 11th was one of my premium picks. So if you're premium, you did get to see that. You had him in your lineup. It was good to see some movement out of Ricky. Just glad he didn't just crash the whip and just die on us. So that was awesome. So Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and Chris Bell, obviously two of my better premium picks I put out there. Also had Alex Bowman in my premium picks, and it was just unfortunate what happened to him right there at the ass end of the race. I want to say he finished 2 laps down back in 27th. So, overall, though, Hendrick's the squad right now. Penske's looking good, and Gibbs is right there kind of just trying to get on track. And they only got a couple of tweaks to make. And I think that once they do that, things will be better for them. And I definitely see some more wins coming, especially for some of these guys that are the normal picks to win, like Truex or Hamlin or Kyle Busch. Some of these favorites are eventually going to have to start winning. The bets are going to have to start hitting. And it's just, I don't think that this type of stuff can last forever. But the one big disappointment about this race, and I know that Chef was very high on him, and it's just because of the statistics that we see. And when you have a guy on the pole that's been in that's been in NASCAR as long as he has and has done as well as he has, it's hard to bet against him. I had to do it this week just because I've already made my statement early in the year. I don't think there will be more than 2 wins coming for Mr. Kevin Harvick. SHR is having some big difficulty right now. And it's really taking a toll on Kevin the most. As soon as we started this race out, when I saw Kevin falling back, I don't know. It's just a feeling. Call it a gut boy feeling, call it whatever you want. I know that Kevin is, things may get better. I don't know, but I just don't think that Kevin has got it in him this season. Too many teams and too many drivers, and I've said this before and I'll say it again, they had their year with no practice, with no qualifying. Denny and Kevin figured that shit out, and they ran the piss out of those cars, and they got a shitload of wins. It didn't cash in for them at the end. Chase came and took the championship, but I mean, what do you expect after a year like that? These guys in the garage are going to go and analyze that. They're going to see what was done, how things worked, and they're going to find a way to get those same results. So now we have this entire field of cars that had that whole year to watch Kevin and watch Denny and see what they were doing and how they were able to be so good at every track they were going at week to week. You got a whole shitload of teams now that have that. You're going to have this kind of variance this year. It's just, that's what it is. And that's where we're at. And that's why we're seeing the shit that we're seeing right now. And I believe that, and I'm not going to get off that throne. It is what it is. So going from there at this race, just Chase Elliott getting, loose right there, and the Jackman screwing his stuff up. Just, it hurt. It was what it was. We got to put our big boy pants on and our big girl pants on. Okay. Everybody that's betting with us, that's riding with us, we're going to be fine. I'm not stressed. I'm not worried. It sucks. It happens because all it's going to take is one major swing, and we're right back in action. Everybody's up. Everybody's good. We had a really great weekend as well. Another shout out to Dale. He had John Hunter Nemechek at plus 1,200. We tailed Dale when it comes to trucks and Xfinity. The Xfinity race was a little bit wild with AJ Allmendinger winning. I had some Hemrick action going on, so it was so close. It sucked, but we did hit big on Nemechek, and we were able to use that money this weekend. So I'm good. Hope you guys are good if you got to bet that. Everything's going to be fine. Rolling into Phoenix. There is no house in Phoenix, just cactuses. We're going to be good. Okay, so no worries. But great race overall. Insane racing coming out of the jump. Watching Clint Boyer and Jeff Gordon just partied up the Jeff DJ or whatever. That was a huge trend on a huge topic on Twitter today, which was funny as hell. So I loved seeing Clint and Jeff in the booth. Good broadcast, insane racing, 3-4 wide on some of these turns, which is wild. So I love what we're seeing from a fan standpoint this year. And I hope that energy continues, which I know it will, because it's NASCAR. It's the best season ever. They've advertised it as that. It can't be anything else at this point, right? Right. All right. So with that being said, I want to go ahead and roll us into some of the voicemails that we have on the Garage Guys hotline. We're going to try to start doing this every Monday. So if you guys want to call with post-race reactions, you want to vent because you're pissed off because your DFS lineups fell to shit because of a certain driver, you want to brag because you got the bag, because you stack cash, call in and do that. Or just ask questions in general, talk. We're going to really evolve, this episode that's going to be dropping every Monday when we recap these races. And I'm pumped for it because the NASCAR DFS preview show, hottest intro in the fantasy NASCAR industry by far. Can't tell me any different. We're always going to have that dropping on Friday. So these recap episodes where we're just going to kind of chill, relax, and things are going to be good. So let's go ahead and dive into the voicemails, and we'll go ahead and start it off. I think we had one from our guy, the homie Copizzle, Garage Guys Racing for Lockdown Racing. He's driving the number 5 F-150 in the iRacing Road to Pro Series. Let's hear what Copizzle had to say.
Hey, Garage Guys fam. It's your friend and fellow partner, Copizzle, driver of the number 5 Garage Guys F-150 in the Road to Pro iRacing Series. Yeah, today I bet on Chase Elliott, and everything was going great. We were out in the lead. I had my feet propped up. Everything was, it was like the sun was shining. There was no chance of rain. Then all of a sudden, we bring it in the pit, and the jack man doesn't know how to hit the daggum tag on the side of the vehicle and messes up our whole race. Next thing you know, we're losing, and now I'm calling for employment tomorrow. So not going good, but don't worry, Garage Guys fam. I'm going to have the F-150 nice and fast for Atlanta in a couple weeks. Just want to thank you boys for all the support, and the Garage Guy fam. Just remember, we're 7 days away from hitting a big winner in Phoenix. Keep your heads up and get to work.
Love it. Love the energy there from our boy Copizzle, the man himself. Go check him out. Follow him on YouTube. You can follow him on Twitter as well. Again, like I said, he's driving for us, Lockdown Racing with Anthony Alfredo. And we had our first race. Zach Novak was a spotter for him, so that was some good stuff. And it'll be next Thursday. We'll have it back on Twitch, and we'll be streaming for iRacing Road to Pro Series. We're going to get some dubs. He said it himself. But talking a little bit about the Chase Elliott situation today. So, when I was looking at, the live bets in the beginning, I was watching, and I'm always watching the lines. Like I'm really big on watching lines. And so when this was starting up, the one thing that I did notice when I was looking at my dashboard here with the stats is, on lap 5, dude hit 179 miles an hour, which when I'm looking at the entire field right now, out of the entire field, guys, that was the fastest lap ran today. That shit didn't happen. Elliott would have won. Hands down, had the fastest car, had good driving. There was no worries in the world when it came to that. But that's racing. This shit happens and it sucks. I'm probably right there with you, Capizzle. I'll be hitting you up to find employment as well, because the bookie probably will be calling. But next week I'll be calling the bookie. That's the energy that I'm trying to bring. We're gonna harness that. But yeah, always sucks when you see something that magnificent, especially in a season where there's no practice and no qualifying. You got to do what you got to do to try to make sure that you're making the best of your bets. And if you realize that, once you do put your bets out and you see somebody out there that's running like that, I mean, you got to be smart. You want to win money, you got to do what you got to do. So always be watching out for the live bets in the Discord during the race, because I'll be quick to throw them in there, always, hands down. But thanks for the call, Copizzle. And hopefully we'll have some better luck out of Elliott next week in Phoenix, where he did win a championship. So we'll see how that turns out. Going into our next voicemail. Don't have a name for this one, but we'll play it anyway. Let's go.
Kyle Larson was on fire, but the boys at Stuart Haas got a lot of work to do. It's a little alarming to see Harvick the way he was. The whole team this year has been behind, in my opinion. I think right now it's the Hendrick guys, the Penske folks are right there, and Gibbs is slightly behind, just like Chase said. Y'all have a good one.
All right, so that was another voicemail we had there. Not sure who you are, but whoever you are, appreciate you calling in. 929-430-GGFS. That's the number. Yes, Kyle Larson was on fire. Was amazing. Should have probably picked that up, but at that point I was capped out on the money I was going to be putting in today, and I didn't want to overhedge myself. But it'd be like that sometimes. Things happen. You can't really control it all. But the one thing out of this voicemail that I do want to discuss is Stuart Haas Racing. I've said it already earlier that Harvick is just – I don't think Harvick's going to have that year. And when we're looking at Stuart Haas as a whole, we had in our free picks, Drew and I both talked about Cole Custer and Eric Amarola based off of position that they had, and, of course, Cole for salary. In hindsight, probably wasn't the best move that we made. But let's take a look here at the finishing positions of Stuart Haas Racing. The only driver out of Stuart Haas to finish on the lead lap. You guys ready for this? None. There were no drivers from Stuart Haas Racing that finished on the lead lap today. Insanity. So first driver, obviously we had Kevin Harvick finish in P20, Briscoe in P21, Cole Custer P25, and then Eric Amarola dead last P38. I think he blew up. There was some kind of issue that happened in his bacon car. So the bacon popped, sizzled in the pan, and it was bad. And there was nothing that we can do about it. So, yeah, it sucks. It happens sometimes like that. That's why it's always good to have the premium picks, my premium DFS picks. You go in there and, you might have some pivots. You might have some people you can play a little different. You never know. You need to be mixing up multiple lineups, everybody. But this is alarming. If you're not able to finish at this race, at this track, I don't think I can remember a time that Stuart Haas ever finished off of the lead lap at this track. And if there is a stat out there where every driver did not finish on the lead lap, please let me know, because I think I'm right. this is a team with a lot of money. This is a team with Tony Stewart, Gene Haas, supposed to be some of the best equipment out there out of the Fords on the planet, and Penske just ripped them a new one. It's easy to say that Penske's the best Ford team out there right now, hands down. SHR has a shitload of work to do. You got a rookie driver right now. Really important to keep his confidence up and Chase Briscoe. And obviously him finishing right behind Harvick, he's pushing, he's doing his best. But Cole Custer expected way more out of Custer today. I know I wasn't alone on that. I know that Drew did as well. So did Dale. We expected a shitload out of Cole. It just didn't happen. Didn't deliver. And then Eric Amarola, I always know it's iffy with Eric, but what happened to Eric, was kind of out of his control. It is what it is. But, looking into it, I don't think that there was a super good run out of him regardless. That may be true. It may not be true. When you're watching these races, usually you're going to hear about a driver. You're going to be able to check the leaderboard and see things. And I really can't remember a time where I saw Eric up in the top 10 or anything like that. So he's ran decent at this track before, but this kind of performance is just, it's unnecessary. It's uncalled for. And especially in a time where the F1 car gets dropped and everybody's freaking out because it's got like Russian flags on the fender welds or whatever. So thought that was kind of comical, whatever. But yeah, Stuart Haas has got to step their shit up. That can't happen anymore, especially going into Phoenix this week. I don't think we're going to see that same trend. However, I don't think that we're going to see something spectacular out of one of these drivers. We might see Harvick back up around, in the top 10 area or whatever, maybe a top 15. I don't know. But after today, it's hard to even say that after today, because I at least expected Kevin Harvick to finish top 10. And I think everybody in America did as well. So that's scary stuff. Really scary stuff. I hope they get that figured out soon, because if not, some of these people that play these favorites and some of these people that they're heavy on Harvick and, whatever, Briscoe, whatever it might be, ain't gonna be good for your pocketbook long term. So yeah. Let's go to the next voicemail. This one comes from Uncle D. Not really sure who Uncle D is, but let's figure it out.
What it do, baby? Uncle D coming to you live post Vegas. I didn't win the whole bag, but I won a little bit. That's all I'm going to say. With the picks, I went straight off my Garage Guys DFS picks. You boys are coming in hot. We're going to the fucking moon. Let's get it, dude.
All right, so some positive energy from Uncle D. Appreciate you calling Uncle D. Good stuff. Glad you got stacked a little cash today. That's what we'll call it. If we bag a tourney, we're in first. If we just are in the green, we stacked cash. And that's what matters. That's Garage Guys terminology. Okay? Terminology, whatever. I got stumped up. I'm not going to lie to you guys. So good to hear that. Yes, we are going to the fucking moon, like Dogecoin, always. Long season ahead. Not worried about shit. Not worried about anything. Keep that energy, Uncle D. We appreciate it. We love you. And keep calling. Who knows? Might be a fan favorite. I want to know what you guys think about these voicemails as well. And if you hear them and you're like, well, shit, I need to call in. Again, the number is 929-430-GGFS. All right, so let's go in. We got two more voicemails, and these voicemails are from the same guy. Okay, so another one of the Garage fam called in. It's Mr. Wes. It's Wes from the Garage fam. Let's hear what Wes had to say.
Big Chase, what's going on? Hey, this is Wes. I just wanted to give a shout out to the Garage fam. Awesome job to Chase on the Gut Boy Energy with Christopher Bell. Shout out to the chef for the awesome rankings. I give a shout out to Dale because they deserve it, even though I can't bet in Alabama. Lame as fuck, but it is what it is. Sorry about the language. All right, I'm just going to say it. I know this one might be a little bold, but I'm going to say it anyway. Christopher Bell is passing Blaney. Christopher is Harvick. He's fading. Oh, this one, this one here is tough, but I agree. Even though I can't stand the guy, Brad Keselowski, best guy on Penske. Truex over Harvick, easy money. And Larson. Larson is the man. Oh, and one more thing. I'm not sold on the Matty D. That's fool's gold. And I don't believe anybody can change my mind. The Bubba Wallace stuff, it's got to stop. I didn't even put that man in my pool, even though he was up there in the rankings. That dude stinks. I don't know why people keep trying. He stinks. But anyway, that's all I got. Awesome job with y'all. Y'all helped me make 5X. Got my money back for the past 3 weeks. And shout out to Chase. I almost said I wasn't going to play this week, but he kept me going and it came through. Awesome job. Look forward to next week. Peace out.
Hell yeah, Wes. Appreciate the call, man. That's a lot. That's a lot to unpack in that voicemail. I'm definitely glad you came back. Before we unpack, though, I'm going to go ahead and play your second voicemail, and then I'll just unpack it all. So let's do that.
What's up, Garage fam? This is Wes again. I just figured I'd call in and correct myself because I think I might have overstepped just a little bit when I said Christian Bell is better than Blaney. I still think Blaney's got it. That's my dude. I'm not going to do him like that. But I do think what we're seeing out of Christian Bell, I do think this is real. I still think Bubba Wallace stinks. He's like that bubble gum stuck at the bottom of your shoe. You just got to get a toothpick or something and, flick it off, throw it in the toilet, and get rid of it. That's what Danny needs to do. He needs to get rid of that bubble gum on the bottom of his shoe and just get rid of it. Hey, put Corey LaJoy in there. I can guarantee you put Corey LaJoy in that car, oh, yeah, it'd be driving much better. But anyway, yeah, Truex over Harvick, easy decision every day. Harvick's getting old. It happens to everybody. And Larson, I'll take Larson over Chase Elliott any day of the week. That's all I got. Shout out to Garage Fam. Look forward to next week. Let's get it. Peace out.
Wes coming in with the haymakers in the Garage Fam. Yeah, we love the energy as always, Wes. Let's unpack everything we talked about. So Wes calls in. He corrects himself with the Blaney Chris Bell statement. I will agree with that because I definitely feel like Chris Bell is the real deal, especially in this 20 car. I was very skeptical last year, and I'm not afraid to say that. I'm not afraid to say that I was wrong. I was totally wrong about Chris Bell. I love Chris Bell this year. I love him in this 20. I love what I'm seeing out of him. And we hope that trend continues, obviously. We are only 4 weeks in to the whole entire, race season. So we got a little bit of time left to see if maybe Blaney really is just kind of trapped in this bubble or if he really is going to be like legit. So I think it's good that you retracted on that, Wes, because we still do need to see a little bit more, but you are correct. I'm right there with you with Chris Bell. I definitely think that he is the real deal. Going into the Truex over Harvick thing, easy money. Glad you got the easy money there. That's good stuff. Yeah, I mean, Gibbs is performing and Stuart Haas is not too much to dabble into there. We've already pretty much, kind of talked about Harvick and went through all that stuff. So next thing we can talk about, I guess, is the Bubba shade. So we got some Bubba shade and look, I get it. It's definitely not, we haven't really seen the hype, lived up to yet with Bubba. In Bubba's defense, I will say that the car malfunctioned early on. He finished 5 laps down. I think they had like a fuel leak or something in the car. So shit like that happens. It is what it is. I am not giving up on saying that I think that Bubba Wallace will win at Martinsville. Don't forget it. Write it down. If I'm wrong, I'll admit it. But as of right now, still sticking with that. Still stand by that statement. 100%. He's just so good at Martinsville, and I'm really ready to see how Bubba is when we get into these short tracks and how this car will perform, because we saw speed out of it. It is what it is. It's just got to live up to that hype. He set a record for himself, said he wanted 2 wins this season. So when you kind of put that out there and you put that on your plate, you better go get it. That's all we can really say. So I'm not ready to say he stinks yet, but this year is definitely going to determine for me if he needs to be in Xfinity or in Cup, or if he needs to be in that 23XI car. I think Bubba Wallace is an awesome guy. I've had the fortune of hanging out with him at Talladega, and I love the energy. Dude's awesome. And he likes good music too. Shout out to good music. He's a big metalhead. A lot of people don't know that. He likes a lot of metal music, likes to rock out. So for the people that didn't know that, now you do. When you said the Corey LaJoie thing, I love Corey. We're a pro Corey LaJoie podcast here. Okay. We love some Corey LaJoie. Shout out to mom. Mom knows who she is. Yeah, I mean, that'd be cool. I mean, I was heavily under the impression that we were going to see Corey LaJoie possibly at JTG this season, but Ryan Preece stuck around, and for good cause. I think Ryan Preece was actually one of the guys that were in the winning lineup on DraftKings. So seeing some grit out of Ryan Preece is definitely huge this season. So he definitely earned his keep there. And again, shout out to Ricky Stenhouse and the 47 there with that P11 finish today. Just going to take a look real quick though, just to see. I think Ryan Preece was the first car off of the lead lap, so he finished P15. So yeah, that's huge. Preece keeps this up, man. I mean, he's going to be he's definitely going to keep that seat. I'll say that much about it. But yeah, after unpacking all that stuff, man, that's a lot. It's been a big week, and I'm just glad that you came back, Wes. I'm glad that you're happy, and I'm happy for all the Garage fam that has been able to bag and has won money. I love these voicemails. Let's keep this energy going into next week and at Phoenix. So talking a little bit about Phoenix before we wrap up. And again, thanks so much for the voicemails, guys. We appreciate that. For Phoenix next week, I'm going to go ahead and just say this flat out. The trend that I've been noticing is that we have some drivers that are kind of having some shitty weeks, and then they'll bounce back and have insanely good weeks. So a lot of energy was on Chase before all the shenanigans happened to him today. Again, ran the fastest lap out of the entire field on lap 5, 179. I am going to go ahead and say that I will probably have a little bit of money on Chase Elliott next week. Obviously, Phoenix, he won the championship. He ran really well there last year. And with him finishing in 13th, it will depend on how everything shakes out. I'm sure that we'll probably see him somewhere easily in the top 15, probably in the top 10. So I'll definitely have some Elliott next week, and I'll probably be putting a little bit of money on him. So there's a little early look at what I'm probably going to do. That's subject to change as always. You guys know how it goes. That's why it's so important that you are in the Discord. It's so important that you are on GarageGuysFantasySports.com. You're reading our articles and our content that we're putting out on a weekly basis. That you follow us on Twitter. Follow me at GarageGuyChase. Follow Chef Boy. Follow Drew at Chef Boyardeen. Follow Dale at Dale Tanhart. And we're pretty much, you can follow us everywhere across the board with those same handles. And then follow us collectively at Garage Guys FS. So that's where you can find us on social media. It's super important to keep up with us throughout the week. Keep the stuff coming. Keep the energy coming. Keep the conversation coming. And again, if you want a link to our Discord, all you got to do is send me a DM. It's that simple. I'll get you a link. You'll be right in there. Join over 100 people that are now officially Garage Fam. We cut up during the week. It's not just NASCAR in there. I mean, we have a channel for MMA. We have a channel for football, basketball. We have a channel for stocks. Okay. We're talking stonks. All right. We got a channel for everything. We like to make money. We like sports. Sports profit repeat. That's the slogan. That's what we do. The house won at Vegas today, but we're not going back to Vegas for a long time. Bags are going to keep coming. We're going to keep stacking cash. Let it be known.
It's the garage guys. 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 It's the garage guys.
One thing you didn't see Kyle Larson doing is winning all those sprint cars.
It's the garage guys. 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 It's the garage guys.